you know what the thing with Noni is? I've realised. I think the criticism with Noni, or just judging his performances, I think depends on how you view him as a player. I'm gonna be so honest. Like, if you view him in the eyes of he's just a squad player at best, he's an okay player. Like, he had a decent game yesterday. If you view him as he's got to be our starting winger going into a season where I want a title challenge, it was a bad performance. It was a bad performance, because this idea he got double marked so many times, and he keeps doing this, by the way. And I don't know who it was. Was it RSM? Was it Joey? Someone said this, and I cannot not notice this now. There are so many times where he's double marked because he puts his foot on the ball and slows down the play and invites a second defender. So, like, people can say, "Oh, he gets double marked," because I've defended him because the double marking last season a lot, and like under Poch as well. But I'm noticing it now, and it was like yesterday I noticed it as well, and I think it was the same against LAFC. Definitely, I don't know about the Flamengo game. So many times in the game yesterday, he's putting his foot on the ball and inviting a second defender. And it's like, okay, cool. Now I've got to play it backwards. When there were a couple of times he beat the guy on the dribble. Like, there was one moment he beat the guy on the dribble and just the final ball was a bit shit. But it's like, cool, do that more. Beat the guy, then maybe you put a better ball in. But it's like, there's so many times where he puts his foot on the ball. And it's the same with Sancho. Put your foot on the ball. And Neto does it as well, actually, at times. But it's put your foot on the ball, invite a second guy over, and it's like, that's a waste of time, because then it just goes backwards. Like, I think I understand the reason for it, but the reason for it doesn't work, so there's no point doing it. I think it's the same reason that, you know, our centre-backs, like, they don't really do it as much anymore, but they put their foot on the ball to invite pressure and then play it into the space that's vacated. I think it's for that. I think it's for a runner to go into the space that's vacated by the second defender coming out to double mark it. But it doesn't work because we play so slowly in the final third at times, and no one enters that space.
But the issue is, like, bro, it's not even necessarily that. I would say, like, on occasions, yeah, but most of the times, like, it would be like a good cross, right, across the field. Like, Nani's in space, he's one-on-one, he has miles to run into, he runs a bit, like, just outside of the box and then steps on the ball. And at that point, like, brother, you are already in a one-on-one, right? You're not going to get 2 to 3 minutes of a one-on-one. Like, within 5 seconds, support is getting there. That's my issue. And yeah, and I did mention that. Yeah, like, he constantly gets doubled up on, because when he is on the one-on-one situation, he takes too long to actually exploit it. Puts his foot on the ball, waits, and that's it. You're in a 2v2. And whatever space you could have ran into, it's over. When he does do it, it looks good, because, again, the system is putting Neto and Madueke in these positions consistently. They're consistently finding themselves one-on-one, able to run at their man. But they always get to the edge of the box, step on the ball, and kill it. It's like jarring.
It's like I said,
I'm gonna have to step in here. Yeah, I'm just going to step in here a little bit here, because, again, I think for me, when it comes to Madueke, I think it's unfair for him to be criticized when he's playing essentially in a position that is not really his position. If we're being honest, guys, right? Left wing is not his position. I think at the end of the day, he's doing a job there. That's the thing I always come back to, right? It's not really like, you know, a spot that works for him per se. Like, his spot is right wing. Obviously, we had to play KDH there because he wanted to give a rest to, I would assume, Caicedo at the time, right? And Palmer, right? So essentially, that's kind of the problem we've got with Madueke, in my honest opinion.
I mean,
hold up, brother. I'm speaking on the whole season. I'm not even talking about just this game or just when he plays
No.
left
I'm
wing.
talking about this game specifically, because I was talking about this game. I wasn't even talking about the season.
No, but yeah, no. I agree. Like, on left wing, I can't really say too much, because I agree with you. It's out of position. But the issues with decision making and the rest, I'm just gonna be whatever side of the wing he's on.
He can't.
Again, for me, it's about with him. Listen, he's on the market. People are shopping. We're shopping him about. It looks like, and as such, I don't think this is helping our case. I'll be real.
I just don't think he can start for us next season. Even if he's here, he can't start for us.
I mean, the thing is, yeah, next season, okay, this is Bridge Nation speculating. I'm gonna give myself a little bit of an advocacy period here. If Garnacho,
I'm not giving you. How about I won't give you the grace.
So if Gittins is obviously gonna come in, right? This is speculating that Gittins comes in. You got Gittins. You probably have Delap, in my personal opinion.
Speculation counter.
Right, you know what I mean? Delap obviously is gonna be there. Do we say that Neto is gonna be the starting right winger next season?
What I will say is this: listen, if we lose Madueke, snatch Fofana for the 5 M's from Leon, bro.
Yep. No, but we know what's gonna happen. We know what's gonna happen. There's not gonna be Malik Fofana that's gonna come. It's probably gonna be Kudus. I think that's probably gonna be.
To be fair, you know what? To be fair, that's fine.
Yeah,
yes,
fine.
But yeah. So listen, I don't really. We'll see what happens. My opinions on him will remain neutral. I will not speak about opinions of players. But essentially, it's gonna probably be something of the sort of like maybe a Kudus or a Neto. Don Jackson, my apologies. Maybe a Delapo or Kitike if that guy comes in, right? Or Delapo or Jackson up front, and then you obviously would have Gittins as a starting.
But to an extent, guys, do you also feel that like, unless Noni gets a goal or an assist, it's always going to be just thrown into the bin of like not good enough, needs to do better, you know, sell him on, not effective? Because to an extent, like watching that game yesterday, and I agree with what you guys are saying, sometimes he does hold up the play, and sometimes he actually is effective. Like I feel like he's doing what is being asked of him, which is stretch out the defense, go wide, try to beat a man or hold on to the possession, recycle until there's an opportunity. You know, I've been watching this tournament, and you know, you guys have been, barring Ahmed, I've been watching the tournament, and you see Esteval and Palmeiras. Now, I think Esteval's a better player, right? When he comes to Chelsea, we'll see if that still stands. But as of right now, what I'm seeing, I think Esteval's a better player. But he's also not been getting goals and assists. He has been creating chances. We've seen it. But it's like, I feel like his game isn't that much different. I feel like it's a sharper and more effective version of Noni's, but I don't feel like it's very, very different.
It's definitely better. I think the issue with Noni, and actually this is the case with all of our wingers. I think,
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
unfortunately,
really.
I say all of our wingers. I'm just going to speak about the two because for George it's different. I think like he's just young. Like you can obviously see that he's raw. Like he did have a great cameo against LAFC. It was better yesterday. But if I'm just talking about the two wingers we've got, I think it's the same. And it was the same when Sancho was here. Unfortunately, they have to get a goal and assist, pretty much to have a good games most of the time, because they don't do much else outside of that. Like Neto last season, most of the positives came from his crossing. Outside of that, in terms of dribbling, it's mostly in space when he has some like space to run into, which we don't play with more often than not. And with Noni, it's like that he doesn't, with what me and RSM spoke about in terms of the dribbling, he doesn't do that enough and cause enough issues in terms of creating chaos in attack a lot of the time. So with him, it's a case like he kind of has to get a goal or an assist because otherwise he's not doing much else. And unfortunately, that's just the wingers we're looking at. Like you look at, for example, Esteval. Like I watched him in all 3 games, I think, and he got slightly worse as the tournament went on. I think his best game was the Porto game, but like let's go to the Porto game. Actually, in that game, it's like he's creating chaos, he's causing issues for the defenders, he's having to be double and triple marked and still beating them on the dribble. Like he's creating space for his teammates. Like he's doing so much more despite not getting a goal or getting an assist.
Sure.
In the game, and it's like it's the same with Elise as well when he comes on. I'm trying to think who else I watched in the tournament that was doing the same. Mastantuono, who I don't even think is even a winger. I thought he's a number 10. Is doing the same thing. He's. I hate to use this term, and I've used it a couple of times, but I can't think of a better. So just causing chaos for the other team's defenders, and like just making them like have to make split decisions and whatnot. I'm trying to think like, and he's just not doing that. And I look at the other teams I've watched as well. He just doesn't do that, and like any of our wingers don't really do that, and that's unfortunately the situation we've got with our wingers. Like hopefully when Esteval comes in, obviously not straight away, but when he's eventually playing, hopefully he becomes that. And like hopefully Gittins is that. I'm hoping upon hope that he is, because I don't particularly rate him, but hopefully he can like do the stuff we're missing in terms of he can still have a good game despite not getting a goal and assist. But like
in terms of causing chaos, like I know what you're talking about, and you're absolutely right. Like Esteval, you see in that Porto game, for example, like it was just mayhem. Like he was such a problem and a nuisance for them. Even though he didn't get GA out of the game, he was still causing them so many issues. And same thing with Elise, right? Like Elise does that to players all the time. I would say and this is the thing this is why I do like Noni. because I have seen games where he has done that, right? I have seen games where he is causing mayhem and he's, on the right-hand side and he's going inside and all of a sudden he's one-on-one with the keeper and then he passes into the box and no one's putting it away and stuff like that. Like, I've seen him cause chaos. And I know right now he's not up to snuff. But of all of our wingers now, which is why we need to go and get wingers, Esteval, Gittins, or Malik Fofana, I like because he's a player that I've seen cause chaos, like you're saying. In terms of the wingers that we have, he's really the only one that I see, of the current wingers we have, I should say, that has the capability of causing chaos. But for whatever reason, it's that decision making that hasn't been there, or that sharpness or that instinct that it hasn't been there for a bit now. So I don't know. I also feel that causing chaos trait that you're talking about, it's also really hard to find. Like, I also genuinely feel like there's so few players that every game they play, they're causing chaos. Like the players like that I can think of, like Neymar's of the world or Lamine Yamal's of the world, like there's just so far and few that can do that. Even Leao's not doing that anymore.
No, but Marshall, and I think this is where, even though I don't rate him, I understand the logic behind getting Gittins. What do both of those guys you just mentioned, Neymar and Yamal, have in common? And the reason why they can cause chaos, and the reason why Esteval can do it, and the reason why like Leao could do it when he was in like on form, and I'm trying to think of Elise, it's because in terms of dribbling and close control, it's not. Like, you look at the wingers we've got. Sancho was meant to be that, but it just like he just wasn't. Whatever the reason was, he just wasn't able to handle the. I get not necessarily physicality of the Prem, but just like the intensity of it. Maybe Neto is not that guy in terms of dribbling. Just not that guy, especially not in a deep block system. And Noni's never really been that. He's probably the best dribbler we've got, but it's not to that level. Yeah, like you look at the Kvaras, Dembele's that people are mentioning, even Ahmed's going to like this one, even Barcola's, Doué's, those kind of guys. Yeah. Like, in terms of actual dribbling, that's why they can cause that chaos.
Can I ask you a question, guys? Yeah, we had chaos at our club at one point in time here, right? We had a guy that could cause chaos for us because he couldn't do his job out front. You know what I'm talking about when I say that. A guy that used to cause chaos, so we had to shift him to the wing because he couldn't do his job up front. Thank you, Devin. Werner.
Are you talking about Werner?
Timo Werner legit was what we are talking about here. Where
Werner's a different kind of chaos, because I saw someone mention Garnacho. Maybe I need to be more clear with the chaos. I'm not talking about chaos just in terms of like.
I think what you're talking about. Listen. I think what you're talking about, guys that can dribble, that can create. Those type of guys. You're talking about guys that are able to create the chaos because
literally what Lamine Yamal did to Marco in Champions League.
They're able to dribble, right? That's what I'm talking about, right? I think that's what you're talking about. I think those guys, they're not. I don't think they're a dime a dozen. I think the problem is we don't have guys. We have a lot of guys here that are not at the stage of decision making. That's the problem that we've got, right? The decision making aspect is where a lot of these guys are failing, right? A lot of these guys, they can dribble, they can beat their man, they can do all of that lovely jubbly stuff. But the problem that we've got now is that when it then comes to, it's like the Telltale. If you play Telltale or like Life is Strange, you know what I mean? You've done the moveset. It's now A or B. We're choosing the wrong decision every single time. That's the problem that we've got.
I think that is a part of it as well. It is the decision making for Noni. Like, he can cause that chaos, and then when he gets himself in that position of like, do I shoot or do I pass? It's usually the wrong decision. Or do I hold on to the ball?
That's always been Noni's issue. We've all that's what we hoped.
But he's got to get better at that.
But that's what we hoped this season was going to be the thing for him, where he was going to be able to do that. But the problem was he didn't. It hasn't necessarily worked out that way.
I'm not having the CFC for life. Noni is our best dribbler.
Neto is another one.
Noni causes chaos. There's a reason he gets marked.
Neto is another one as well, where he's essentially also like. Also had a season where his decision making hasn't been great either. So
that's true.
Right, and so the problem again that comes back to, right, as I've had before, on a personal level, the guys that we are targeting do not have that even. Gittins, great dribbler, can do everything like that, but he's still raw in terms of decision making. Okay, he doesn't get that right all the time, right? Kudus, does not always get it right. He's a great dribbler, insane dribbler. Is not got the thing of like making the correct decision every 8 to 9 times out of 10. Same with like some of these other alleged or rumored speculated targets. Yeah, Yildiz. Yildiz is an exception probably to the rule. I'd probably say. In terms of like decision making, he's got a much better decision making than some of the guys that we've got. Morgan Rogers has shown that he has a good decision making abilities, right? At Aston Villa, right? But that's the point problem. That's what I'm coming back to. Like, we're not even trying to target the guys that have that second aspect at all. All we're looking at, and I said this statistically, the way the club looks at stuff is, what's it called? Yeah, take on per 90 and successful take on per 90, bro. And then carries per 92.
We're also looking for shots though, because we already did that, and we ended up with Neto, and we were happy with Madueke, and then we realized these brothers aren't taking enough shots on goal.
And so essentially, all of those stuff that we're talking about here is what we're looking at, and that's the problem.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys or what you've seen from Madueke that makes you think he's not a good dribbler. He is a good dribbler. He's our best. I still hold that he's our best dribbler in this team. I mean, he's probably up there with Sancho. But again, it's the decision-making aspect of his game where it just fails. Like, you know, he's not just running and he's not just kicking the ball and running into space. Like, that's what Timo did. Like, let's not be disrespectful to Noni either. Like, Noni on a 1v1 will cook you. Like, and he has done it. Like, we've seen him do it multiple times. But this season, it's just double man mark. When he does do it, it doesn't lead to anything. It's yeah, we'll see. In terms of him too leaving the club, I don't know. I'm still on the fence about it. If there's a good price for them, sure. But like, we need to get other dribblers I mean, other wingers as well. Is Gittins gonna be better?
Kudus. What about Kudus though?
Kudus, I wouldn't mind. I mean, Kudus, like he's a good player. Like,
there are
good players out there.
Yeah, sure. What's up?
Let's say we get Kudus and Gittins. Who plays where in your mind? Like, what's the hierarchy?
Kudus would be right, no?
Yeah, I agree. But then I'm trying to, like, where does everyone else fit in this?
Who, like Neto?
Yeah, like Neto.
That's the only one I can think of.
Estevao.
I think Estevao, I already said too, I think Estevao can't play the wing, but he wants to play 10. And if we don't get a backup to Palmer in the 10, then that's just telling me we're already giving Estevao the 10. A backup 10 at least.
I don't mind that. So then what? So who's backup? So what, Noni's the backup left winger, Neto's the backup right winger?
Yeah.
Neto can
and then Neto can play both sides as well, and then you could have Tyreek George.
To be fair, I think Neto has a shout to actually start. Like, he can compete.
Then he's got to play left wing, and then Madueke would have to be backup right wing. And Gittins would start. I don't mind.
I thought you were saying if Madueke gets sold, because that's.
Oh no, if Madueke gets sold, then it's like, yeah, then Esteval's the backup right winger, and then
Gittins
is the backup left winger. You assume.
No, I was gonna say, like, let's say like Madueke leaves, right? Then we get Kudus in.
So what then? Yeah, then have to be Neto on the left hand side.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I agree.